Just when you thought Todd Grimshaw had finally found a way out, the walls are closing in tighter than ever before. We all held our breath, hoping that bag by the door meant freedom. But Coronation Street has delivered a twist so cruel, it leaves you cold. Theo isn't just one step ahead. He is playing a game. Todd doesn't even know the rules to yet. And with that disastrous bus journey looming, the hope for a happy ending feels like it is slipping away fast. If you are as shaken by these latest developments as we are making sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, we are digging deep into every spoiler and theory, so do not miss out on what is coming next. It is rare that a soap opera manages to capture the suffocating reality of domestic abuse twice in such a short span of time. But Coronation Street is handling this issue with a level of care and realism that is frankly difficult to watch. We all remember Yasmin Metcalf and the harrowing journey she went through with Jeff. That storyline was widely considered one of the most powerful things the show has ever produced because it showed us the slow, insidious nature of coercive control. Many of us thought the writers had said everything there was to say on the subject, but the creative team has proven us wrong by delivering a painfully accurate portrayal of what daily life looks like inside a controlling relationship through the eyes of Todd Grimshaw. This storyline feels different though, because Todd is such a different character. We are used to seeing Todd as the sharp-tongued schemer, the one who is usually pulling the strings. Seeing him reduced to this state of constant fear, living with someone like Theo Silverton, is jarring in the most effective way possible. Theo is a bully who twists his own deep-seated insecurities into weapons. Unlike Jeff, who was quiet and calculating with his abuse, Theo is fueled by this simmering anger that can erupt without warning. We saw that terrifying volatility over Christmas, and it has only gotten worse since. The show took a massive creative risk recently with that unique found footage episode, told entirely through police body cameras and doorbell recordings. It was a stylistic choice that paid off because it made the viewer feel like an intruder, witnessing something private and dangerous. In those scenes, we saw Todd finally admit that he did not want to continue the relationship. It was a moment of bravery, but it backfired spectacularly. When Theo refused to back off, Todd shoved him away in self-defense. It was a natural reaction, but because Theo crashed over the coffee table, the optics shifted immediately. Suddenly, Todd looked like the aggressor, and the police were taking him in for questioning. It is a terrifying example of how abusers manipulate the narrative to make themselves the victim. We were all left shaken by those scenes, but there was a tiny glimmer of cautious optimism. We hoped that maybe, just maybe, this rock-bottom moment would give Todd the strength to stand firm and remove Theo from his life for good. But abuse is never that simple, and the cycle is incredibly hard to break. Instead of freedom, we watch Todd become the target of intense affection and manipulation. Theo poured on the charm and the apologies, which ultimately led to that jaw-dropping moment where Todd unexpectedly proposed. It was undeniably difficult to watch, because we know it wasn't born out of love, but out of a desperate need to keep the peace. The storyline captures the reality of abusive relationships perfectly. There is the emotional extreme, the constant tension, and the total absence of peace. There is no balance, only a relentless cycle between victim and abuser. And that cycle now appears closer than ever to a total collapse. The New Year's Day episode was a masterclass in tension. A simple social encounter with Summer Spellman and Billy Mayhew triggered devastating fallout for Todd. It started innocently enough with Summer excitedly questioning Todd about the engagement, but in the background Theo was interrogating Billy about a secret church member seeking help for domestic abuse. Theo's paranoia knows no bounds. Once they were alone again, his jealousy and rage erupted, and he brutally attacked Todd, kicking him repeatedly. Seeing Todd, battered and exhausted, managing to throw some belongings into a bag and stagger out of the flat, gave us hope again. We wanted him to keep running and never look back. However, an emotional voicemail from Theo drew him back in. This is where the writing really shines, because it is true to narcissistic behavior. Theo offered only a partial apology while manipulating Todd into believing they are equally at fault. He convinced Todd that they both need to change. Although Todd is beginning to understand that love should not be this painful, he remains trapped under Theo's influence and partially accepts this twisted logic. Drained and emotionally worn down, he agreed to attend Debbie Webster's wedding with Theo as planned, deciding to just see what happens next. It is heartbreaking to see him slip back into compliance. Theo slipped right back into his perfect partner persona, cheerfully agreeing and preparing a bath for Todd. But the moment Todd's attention shifted, the mask slipped. Theo secretly searched the packed bag Todd intended to flee with and stole his passport. That moment sent a chill down the spine of every viewer. Theo knows Todd is planning to escape, and he is prepared to do whatever it takes to prevent it. He is systematically cutting off Todd's exit routes, with the knowledge that Theo and Todd, along with Billy, are all passengers on that minibus heading toward the disastrous Corydale stunt. It is impossible not to fear that a happy ending remains disturbingly far away. The bus crash is looming, and with the emotional stakes this high, you have to wonder if everyone makes it out alive, or if this abuse story ends in the ultimate tragedy. Meanwhile, on the other side of the street, the tension is ramping up for a completely different reason. Becky's terrifying ploy seems to be succeeding, but the question remains, will Lisa truly walk away? Lisa appears determined to leave the street for good. In Thursday night's episode, Becky Swain decided it was time to accelerate her family's escape. With Kit closing in on the truth, Becky became increasingly desperate to get both Betsy and Lisa out to Spain as quickly as possible. She chose fear as her weapon, and her scheme paid off when Lisa agreed to leave for Spain straight away. But is she really ready to go through with it? Kit is edging closer to the truth every single day. He paid a visit to Costello in the hospital and revealed that he had located Costello's flat, only to find it completely empty. He questioned why Costello had directed Carla there, but Costello dodged the questions, claiming his memory was failing him. Kit warned that Carla could be in serious danger, yet Costello refused to speak. Once Kit left, the truth behind his silence became clear when Becky emerged from the ensuite. She had been there the whole time. Becky thanked Costello for protecting her secret before issuing a chilling warning. As long as he stayed quiet, he would have nothing to fear. Becky is proving to be a formidable force. Later, she crossed paths with Kit's girlfriend Sarah and attempted to extract information by casually joking about Lisa already being back at work. The tactic worked perfectly as Sarah let slip that Kit had returned to the hospital to see his boss again, adding that she believed he was close to solving the case. This information was the catalyst Becky needed. A fire forces Lisa's hand. Although Lisa finally agreed to leave with Becky and Betsy, she refused to go anywhere without first seeing Carla and telling her in person. Knowing she could not allow that to happen while holding Carla captive, Becky devised a dangerous alternative. Wearing a balaclava, she deliberately started a fire near the flat, while Betsy and Lauren were inside. It was a reckless move that shows just how unhinged Becky has become in her desperation. Convinced the blaze was another warning aimed at Becky, Betsy panicked and insisted they leave for Spain immediately, fearing things could escalate even further. It is tragic because Lisa is being manipulated just as much as Todd is, only in a different way. Later, Lisa confided in Roy about how deeply hurt she still felt over Carla's silence. Roy, ever the voice of reason, reassured her that Carla would never intentionally cause her pain and encouraged her not to lose hope. It is devastating because the audience knows Carla is trapped and can't reach out. Lisa left one final message for Carla, declaring her love. But with her daughter's life now seemingly at risk, she decided the safest option was to leave for Spain with Becky and Betsy the very next day. Is this really goodbye for Lisa? Spoilers for Friday's episode reveal Lisa handing Sarah an envelope containing Carla's engagement ring, asking her to give it back once Carla eventually turns up. It feels like a final severance of ties. Meanwhile, Becky continues to tighten her grip. At the Chariot Square Hotel, she convinces Lisa they must abandon their phones for security reasons before heading off. Becky then leaves, promising to return with replacement phones before they travel to the ferry. It is all a setup to keep Lisa isolated. Next week's highly anticipated Corydale episode will see Lisa and Becky and Carla all heavily involved, confirming that Lisa's departure will not happen before then. The special installment will show Carla teaming up with Kit in a desperate attempt to stop Becky from fleeing the country with Lisa and Betsy. As Carla and Kit arrive at the scene of the devastating crash, the question remains, will Carla reach Lisa in time? And will Becky finally face justice? The collision of these storylines is going to be explosive. Amidst all this high drama and potential tragedy, there is some good news for longtime fans of the show. Coronation Street producers have been busy locking in some of Weatherfield's most recognisable faces, and another major name is set to remain on the cobbles. Samia Longchambon, who has portrayed Maria Connor for a quarter of a century, has signed a brand new contract with the ITV soap. Her deal makes her the latest long-serving cast member to commit to the show as it moves into its next era. The actress joins a growing list of veterans who have recently extended their time on the programme. Bill Roche has also renewed his contract, confirming he will continue playing Ken Barlow beyond his 94th birthday, which is absolutely incredible. Meanwhile, Sally Dynevor and Michael Lavelle have both agreed fresh 12-month deals to remain as Sally and Kevin Webster. This news will come as a huge relief to fans who were worried about potential exits ahead of the dramatic Corydale special. The crossover event brings together the worlds of Emmerdale and Weatherfield and is expected to feature multiple fatalities, including the confirmed death of Corey. But knowing that Maria is safe allows us to breathe a sigh of relief for at least one character. An insider revealed that Maria has been central to many of the soap's most powerful and memorable plots, with plenty more stories planned for her character. They added that the show's bosses are keen to retain familiar faces, knowing that long-standing favourites are vital for strong viewing figures. It is smart management because when you have storylines as intense as the Todd and Theo situation or the kidnapping saga with Becky, you need those familiar anchors, like Maria and Ken, to keep the show grounded. The special episode is set to air on ITV on Monday night at 8 o'clock, and the anticipation is through the roof. Bringing it back to the Todd storyline, it is crucial to appreciate the nuance in the writing. The writers have done an excellent job of showing that abuse does not always look like bruises and shouting. Sometimes it looks like a calm bath being run for you, or a partner wanting to protect you from the world. Theo's manipulation is insidious. By stealing the passport, he has physically trapped Todd, but by proposing and playing the victim, he has emotionally trapped him too. Todd is usually the one who can talk his way out of anything, but against Theo, he is rendered silent. The involvement of Billy in the upcoming crash adds another layer of tragedy. Billy still cares for Todd deeply and has been suspicious of Theo, but he has been kept at arm's length. If the crash happens while they are all on that bus, the dynamics will shift in an instant. Crises often bring out the truth, and in the wreckage of a disaster, secrets have a way of spilling out. Could the crash be the thing that finally exposes Theo? Or will the chaos allow Theo to tighten his grip even further, perhaps by hurting Todd and blaming the accident? The parallel between Todd's entrapment and Lisa's deception is striking. Both characters are being led down a path by someone they trust, or at least someone they think is protecting them. Lisa thinks Becky is saving them from a threat, but Becky is the threat. Todd thinks he can manage Theo, but Theo is managing him. It is a theme of control that is permeating the entire show right now. As we look toward the Corydale stunt, we have to wonder about the long-term impact on the street. If Carla manages to save Lisa, will Lisa ever be able to forgive the deception? And for Todd, if he survives the crash, will he have the strength to leave Theo, or will the trauma bind them closer together? Trauma bonding is a very real thing, and Theo is exactly the type of predator to exploit a near-death experience to make Todd feel grateful to him. The fact that the show is willing to take these dark turns is a testament to its longevity. It reinvents itself by mirroring real-life issues. The domestic abuse storyline is difficult but necessary viewing. It validates the experiences of survivors and shines a light on the warning signs. Todd's story is far from over, and next week's episodes promise to be some of the most pivotal in his entire history on the show. Make sure you are tuned in because the fallout from the crash and the resolution of the kidnapping plot are going to change the landscape of Weatherfield forever. We are on the edge of our seats, waiting to see who survives and who falls. Coronation Street is proving once again why it is the king of soaps delivering drama that hits hard and feels real. Do not miss a second of it.